Have you ever wondered why arrogant people exist? Or why intelligent people feel dumb? There's a few explanations on why this is the case, but the best version I've found is known as the Kruger effect. Now don't worry if you get confused while I try to explain this, it will make sense by the end. So the Kruger effect is composed of the things you know, the things you don't know you know, the things you know you don't know, and the things you don't know you don't know. So let's start with arrogance. I'm sure we've all been arrogant at one point, but why does this happen? Why do people become arrogant? Because we know what we know, but don't know what we don't know. So this makes us feel as if we know everything because we aren't aware of what we don't know. Simple enough, right? Arrogance is different, as we know what we don't know and only accept the things we know. Now, why do intelligent people feel dumb? Because they don't know what they know and know what they don't know, so they simplify the hardest of tasks, thinking anyone can do it, and they feel underqualified doing the easy task as they focus on the things they know they don't know. So when I started to work out, I had a lot of things I didn't know, and this kept me from ever letting my ego get the better of me. But once the year went by, I felt as if I knew all there was to know, as every question I had was answered, everything I knew I didn't know was known, but the fact still remains that they were things I didn't know until my first gym injury, which was due to my own stupidity, as I didn't give myself enough rest time. Luckily, it was only a strain in my shoulder, but that made me relook at everything I knew. And eventually I discovered the things I didn't know, and so I learned the things I didn't know. In the second year of training, it happened again. My knees were shot, my back was out, and I felt like a 17-year-old in an 80-year-old's body. Yet again, I discovered things I didn't know, and now my arrogant days are over until I find something else I'm overly confident at. That being said, I never thought of the things I didn't know, as I let my cognitive bias win over reality. Now that you have a huge headache and hopefully a understanding of the Kruger effect, let's talk about why it's important to focus on knowledge than to earn intelligence as a status. What is knowledge? To put it simply, it's the things we learn over time or through education, like information, facts, and skills. Intelligence is simply your ability to apply that knowledge. How can we gain knowledge? Through a few things, videos such as this one, books, people, and your own experience. But the thing about learning something is you tend to ignore it. So the key isn't to take notes and use it right away, although it's a good idea. The key is to wait until you realize how to apply it. Philosophy is a great example of this, because the first time I heard of the concept of control, it didn't click. I didn't care about it, and I thought it was quite odd. Until I had a situation that was completely out of my control happen, and for once in my life I focused on the only control I had, which was myself. The point I'm trying to make is that whatever you learn, it takes time to understand how to apply it. There's no easy or fast way to become intelligent. It's about learning more and applying what you have learned through making connection with the other things you know. And obviously I'm not saying that all you will learn will be applicable, but everything is useful to some degree. Except that one guy, screw him. But basically I'm trying to say make learning a habit. I talked about habits in my last video, so I won't go in depth on how to create and break habits, but I will try to teach you how to develop the kind of habits that will help you learn. Let's talk about reading first. So reading has a lot of benefits, like widening your vocabulary, reducing stress, and gaining knowledge on vastly different topics. But it also has the capability of boring you to the point where jumping off a 3-story building would be more entertaining. So how can we get into reading when correlating it with being boring? Learn the books you like. Fiction, non-fiction, story-based, or humor, and just get into the habit of reading. You could set the book on your bed before you sleep, which will create the habit of reading over time. And over the next few weeks, you'll see the positive impacts that it has on you, and you'll start wanting to read more and more. The one thing I learned about reading is that if you don't like the book you're reading or the chapter, then you always have the liberty to skip it, but at your own expense, as you might miss important information. Our memories are easily corrupted. This is the reason we lose things, or for those who believe in the Mandela effect, we misremember things. So people are prone to misunderstand or misremember certain concepts. So self-research is a necessary skill. Not only will this grant you independency, but you'll start questioning things that can be solved by a simple Google search. So without getting too much into it, start research and find what works for you without the need to rely on others' false memories and understanding. Lastly, let's talk about why we don't understand things we get told to us. For example, when watching a YouTube tutorial on how to get cherry juice, out of your shirt, one video might say to use sodium hypochlorite and cleanse it with the love and care of an elderly mother, whatever that means. Another might say to use bleach and wipe viciously with the hatred for the man who invented the sound of the alarm clock. My point is, communication is key whenever you learn something new. And depending on how some things are communicated, it could mean the difference between going to jail or getting away with spilt cherry juice. So if you don't understand something right away, maybe it's the way it's being communicated. Next, I will talk about the reason I don't believe dumb people truly exist. I never understood why I wasn't good academically. My only conclusion was that I was dumb. You see, perspective is a strong thing, so if you perceive yourself as dumb, you'll slowly turn that into your identity, and so it becomes your reality. And don't get me wrong, I'm not that smart. There's still so much I need to learn, but that doesn't mean I should weaken my own views on myself. Calling myself dumb will only make it true. Let's put it this way. If you tell yourself everyone is a jerk, you'll start to pay more attention to the jerks in this world, and the majority of the nice people will be ignored. This is the way your ego protects your reality. So what's my point? Watch your perspective. If you say and believe things that weaken you, it will become true, as you believe it to be so. Your ego is strong at protecting your belief. That's the reason we take criticism as a personal attack. So going back to the main topic, no one's inherently dumb. Being dumb is a choice. It's the laziness of doing the things for pleasure rather than for improvement, or what is known as delayed gratification. So if you feel dumb, change your mindset by putting in the work. Don't just sit around wasting endless hours watching useless entertainment on your phone. Get to work. With that being said, I hope this has helped plant the idea in your head. Now it's up to you to put in the work. Have a lovely day. See you in the next video. Bye.